Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas from Health, Wealth, and Relationships with Tisa
and Grant.
Welcome on this Christmas morning. Hopefully you got what you wanted from Santa Claus and your kids got what they wanted. And if they didn't, I hope that they are still grateful either way.
Absolutely. We have to be grateful for what we receive and give.
Yes. I think I've always had what I want. I got what I want before Christmas because I take care of myself. But I got a few little extra things that's under the tree this year, which was surprising, which is always good. How about you?
I got a wonderful gift because I am in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, having a great time in the sun.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy that.
Yeah. He's going to be in St. Croix real soon here. And are you here on Christmas morning?
I am here.
All right. So
don't ask her how we're doing this, but I am in St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
On Christmas morning.
I'll show you the beach.
And we may be tuning in New Year's from St. Croix.
Yeah, we're going to be live in St. Croix.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Christmas morning. So hopefully all the anticipation of Christmas is over now. The gifts are given. You either got it right or not. And it's really time to start returning gifts that didn't fit or that you didn't want. Time to cash in all of those gift cards that you probably got. Actually, I do good with gift cards. What do you like about it? Do you like them or not?
Oh, I love gift cards. It for me, I'm not a shopper.
Yeah.
So giving a gift card, I make sure it has enough money, especially
right?
for young adults and teenagers. Like, look, you
can
get what you want to get because if I'm gonna get you something, you may or may not, appreciate it. They get or return it. So I but I'm not a shopper, so the gift card has always been a winner. And I put it in a big box. Put the gift card, gigantic box. Oh my God! And then
so you fake it all. I don't even go through all that. I'd be like, there's a cute little gift card and call it a day. I mean, because they know they're getting the gift card. Like my kids, they're grown, so they always give gift cards. I'm getting to the point where we don't even have to exchange gifts. I give them money, they give me money. We're giving each other money.
Love it.
Anyway, the gift cards work because it makes you shop for yourself, and you don't have to worry about other people taking the time or getting you the wrong thing or whatever. If
Absolutely.
the amount is right.
Yeah.
If the amount is right,
the
amount's got to be right. So. After Christmas, we all got our gifts. We're going to be settling. Hopefully your kids will be playing with those toys for more than a day.
Yes.
I seem a little bit bitter about Christmas and toys. I just know that I have spent so much money over the years on toys that, just for no reason that sat around or, I'm like a month later going, what happened to that $400?
That's what we talked about last week. So hopefully you get a little bit more presents and not presents.
Yeah,
but
get
presents.
Together.
As we're talking about today, we're getting into some of the 7 principles that are going to strengthen health, wealth, and relationships.
Sure.
So you brought this to my attention. I used to practice this
Kwanzaa.
A lot, and about a couple of years back. But you brought it to my attention. Let's go into these principles. I think we need to revisit some of these things.
Oh, yeah.
Now we get into Kwanzaa.
So Kwanzaa, if you do not celebrate Kwanzaa just kind of feeds in right into what we're talking about with health, wealth, and relationships, because Kwanzaa makes you look at self, family, and community, right? So it's all about how yourself incorporates with your family and how your family incorporates with the community. And that's just culturally all while a good thing if we can work on self, family, and community. We're always needing to build and work with each other and support each other. So the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, the reason why I started Kwanzaa was really my sister-in-law, who was Laura Partridge Ned's. A lot of people knew her in the city. She's a big thespian here. She did a lot of plays, North and South Omaha, really touched a lot of lives here. But she was the oldest of my ex-husband's siblings, female-wise, and she was like all about Kwanzaa. And so when I first married him, in the 90s, she used to have Kwanzaa celebrations every Christmas. Nice. And it was just a good family time, but a time to not focus on real material things, but self, family, and community. So
absolutely.
It's a lovely thing too.
I think it is. I got especially deeper into Kwanzaa also in the 90s when I lived in Nashua, New Hampshire. I lived in New England for a long time. Very Christmassy out there. A lot of snow, lots of snow. So don't worry about it. It doesn't get as cold as it does in the Midwest, but it gets a lot of participation. But that's what it's about. So in this first day, you start thinking about, I know today is Christmas Day, but tomorrow will be December 26th. That's the beginning of Kwanzaa.
Yes.
And you told me about this word. Talk to me. I call it unity. What is the word for the day?
The word for the day is umoja.
That's right.
Umoja. Umoja means unity. And so that means we're striving for unity within ourselves and our families, but also within our community. Mm-hmm. So unity is a big word because, when you think about it, you see some communities have a lot of unity. Yeah. I would say that the Latino community in South Omaha shows a lot of unity, and we can really learn from them. Just keeping it 100, especially Black people, they work together, play together, support each other, buy from each other, live together. But there's not a lot of infighting internally within their community. They definitely ain't shooting and killing each other. Message. And, they're about unity in their community. And I just would hope and want our community to become more unified. Right.
100% on the unity factor, because it affects everything. All these things, I call unity as the connective tissue with health, wealth, and the relationships. The relationship with your own self. What are the habits that you're sharing and want to move forward with, especially in this new year? What are your priorities as you want to share and become more unified? And then that mutual respect, I think that's very, very important, because without unity, everything else will collapse.
Absolutely.
Some of the things you're talking about. So it collapses in the areas that you don't want to be in. I think we do need to center around ourselves. So the center of our community, as we come together, there's a sense of brotherhood there, sisterhood there. And then we understand that not only just a day of unity, but a year and years and decades of unity.
Yeah. Yeah. All of these 7 principles are principles, and just that they're not just like a word for the day. Right. They're principles. Right. They are words to live by. Principles are words to live by. And so as we talk about unity, we'll start with our families. Are we unified with our families? Are we having a lot of beef with your own families? You know what I'm saying? Some people are not speaking to sisters and brothers, and some people are not, haven't been in touch with even parents for years at a time. And so that's not a unity, that's discord in the family. So strive, first start with your family. If you have some discord what's the opposite of unity? Non-unity.
Oh.
If you don't have unity in your family.
Fractured relationship.
Okay.
Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, if you got some mending to do, start with your own family and start to unify your own family. And hopefully if your family is unified, then move to your community and teach your kids how to be a part of the community. And one thing you can do is unify around a common interest or a common cause in your community. Absolutely. We got a lot of things going on right now with OPPD that is affecting the North Omaha community. And we're unifying. We're seeing our senators and our leaders and Precious out there. They're all out there really unifying the community and really making sure that the community knows what's going on. That's been a coal burning plant for years, and it's been like 10 years they've been planning to close this down, and it hasn't happened. So, we're tired of being hoodwinked and bamboozled. So I'm glad to see the unity in the community around subjects and issues that affect everybody. So let's just practice being unified. And that just means join the cause. Be a part of something. What do they say? If you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So stand for something. So when we're talking about unifying with our community, stand for something.
I think there's some community projects that are going on in Omaha right now. One is the Omaha Inland Port Authority, where they're really looking to build something very unique that unifies the entire North Omaha corridor.
Tell us about that.
But it's going to be built out in Kerr Lake.
That's
built
right.
out in near the airport.
That's right, the airport. Yes, it's a whole. What do I want to call that?
It's a business park. It's an innovation hub.
Yeah.
It wants to be an employment center for a lot of people coming down all the way from obviously North High, Ames, all the way down to 16th Street. Really take a look at that property and that location and that area. I would say
they got stuff for the kids too, don't they? It's a whole thing about bringing so they can have teams and sports. It's a whole complex, right?
You see this new sports complex already being built out already there.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to employ the community around is that they have monthly meetings, and the community is completely free for anyone to come and talk about what they're building out. You can participate. Your voice is very, very important.
Yeah, know what's going on in your community,
so that we accept it as a whole. It's not someone did this for us or with us, or we did it together, and that's where I want to see us land in this whole day of unity.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome.
Now, this next one is about day 2. Now,
Day
we're going to
two.
day 2, self-determination. Now, she knows how to pronounce these words.
Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia is self-determination.
All right.
And it is a hard word. And so when you first start Kwanzaa, you want to build a Kanara. And that's where you put your candles on. And so if you show them kind of what we're talking about, every day that before you move on, so the 26th, you start with the left, your red outer candle. So
is that what this is right here? We just got it up.
So yeah, so the farthest candle out is your emoji candle. You light that and you do something around unity that day. So the second one we're here on Kujikagalia, as you see this next two emoji, there you go. And so that's day 2, self-determination. Yes. So I love the principles because it talks about start with yourself, let that bleed to your family, and let that bleed to your community. So and everything starts with self. Right? Yes, we can't talk about it unless we be about it. We need to make sure that we check ourselves and check the man in the mirror before we try to give advice to others. And so everything starts with self and self-determination. So what do you get from
self-determination? It's being intentional. You got to be intentional about the life that you're living. And do a self-assessment like we talked about even two episodes ago. Self-determination is really around mindset. What is your mindset around your inner world and your external world? Are you constantly being critical about everything? Like if you're going to be critical about 90% of what's going on, what are you positive about for those 10%? How can we grow that and leverage that so you become more intentional about determining your own reality moving forward? Can't blame everything on everybody else. They're doing their thing. Where do you fit in on this? And where can you know what? I am going to move forward with my determination, my reality, what I can do, who I can do business with, if that's what it is. Who can I develop my career with, if that's what it is. Or like you said earlier, I can then enhance the relationships that I have in my family, in my community.
Right. So self-determined, sometimes you just got to pat yourself on the back. Self-determination to me means speak life, speak health, speak wealth. And so it's just it's an internal thing that you just kind of gotta look to yourself sometimes and just say, you know what, I gotta do this for me. I gotta do, and that's what it takes. When you talk about moving into the new year, it's gonna take a lot of self-determination to take yourself from A to B, to kind of change up some of those behaviors you're going to need to change to get to some of your goals. So self-determination is needed to do anything.
Get the friction out of your life. That's the cool factor. Get the friction out of your life. Now, this word, I think I might be able to pronounce this one. Ujima.
Yes, Ujima. Yeah. Collective works and responsibilities. Again, we don't move from self to collective works and responsibilities. So yes, we have a onus to ourselves to make sure that we're in check, but then we also have just kind of like the unity. We got to work together. Right. We got to figure out what the problems are and try to solve them together. Right. So we can't do any of these things in a nucleus, in a bubble. We have to reach out and all work together to solve the problems, especially our community problems. We lean to just our leaders. We all have to be a part of the solution. So if that means showing up for these meetings and being informed and voicing your concerns if there's some concerns, but just being a part of the planning, being part of the conversation, right? So that's working collectively and being responsible for each other.
100%. You have to understand your problem is not just your problem, and your healing helps us all. Now, we have an example of what Ujima really looks like in practice. When I came back from Miami and I came to Omaha, and Tisa reached out to me like, look, I have business. I have the Pink Lotus Project in Nebraska. I'm looking for an office. I have 5. I know you running your business. I have 5-star BDM for business development and marketing. Why don't we come together, get a really good office instead of one that's maybe, just it may get us by, but it's not going to really do everything. Because people don't realize that we are actually filming from our office right now at the Executive Center. We would not
the Enterprise Center.
Enterprise Center, sorry. It is an Executive Center, but Enterprise Center is the official name. But we would not have been able to do this if we did it separately. If we came together, now we have facilities, we can have meetings here. I think it just opened us up to a lot more business trajectory than we have before. What do you think?
Absolutely. Separate. We were looking microscopic and we were looking, but together, look at us. We got our space for our podcast. Our office space is perfect. It works for both of us. And it's an upgrade probably from what we would have got with our money separately. So working together collectively is bringing us to where we are today.
100%. And then I got to know about what breast cancer was all about, what you have been doing. I want to give you your flowers while you're right here in front of me. Being able to do this for, 8 years, running, doing it by yourself, growing it into a collective with a board of individuals, operating with all in the different healthcare systems, and really helping people through the cancer experience for 8 years. People, let me tell you, that is no easy task. And she has got people involved. She's got the television stations involved. She's got the mayor involved. I mean, this is what she has done. I'm giving her flowers today on Christmas.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I didn't pay him to do that. I didn't. And it's nice to be appreciated. I appreciate that. Yes. And I was charged to do this. So when you have a calling, and you are charged by God to do something, you just do it. So it's not me, it's what I'm called to do. And so that's what I'm doing. I understand my assignment.
You've done it well. And it falls right into day 4, which is Ujamaa, which is cooperative economics. We kind of talked more about that. How these things got to work in conjunction with each other. Tell us how you feel about that.
Well, it's kind of like what we said about it all kind of bleeds together, right? So we were working collectively. And so the economics, Ujamaa means cooperative economics. So that means bringing the money into the picture, right? So as we've gotten together and we are growing and we are branding and upscaling each other, we're also bringing in funds, right? So we want to hopefully that maybe this is a platform where we can get some funding to keep bringing information to the community, right? But also maybe bringing some funding or to what you're doing at 5 Star BDM, as well as some to Pink Lotus. But cooperative economics is working together to get that dollar. And then supporting each other business-wise, right? 100%. So if you have businesses, support your Black businesses. Support any business, but support your Black businesses. Because as we talk about culture, for our culture working together, like I said, the Latino family on 24th Street, they all have businesses. That whole strip used to be lined up like our North 24th Street of businesses, and they shop there, they eat there, they work there, all within their little strip. And that means their economics, their money is going back into their community. Right. They're not taking it out west. They're not even bringing it north. They're like, we like South Omaha. This is our home. This is where we thrive and live. And they keep that money right there in their community. So I would again say learn some lessons from our Latino friends over there, because I think they're doing it right.
No, they're doing it right. They're doing it right because you have to have your money has to circulate within your community. Right now, we've all seen some of the statistics that are out there that the Black dollar stays in the Black community less than 2 hours, maybe even 6 hours instead of 2 weeks, right?
So what do we do? We get our checks in.
We spend it outside of our community.
Wow.
Some of that's by design, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like you got to go to the grocery store, it's not in your community.
Sure.
Or even who owns the grocery store, right? Yeah. Where's that money circulating? So if it's circulating within your community, it's going to enrich everybody in the community. There are things now that are taking place, I believe, in the North Omaha area that's going to change that. But we have to get involved with that and make it be an intentional reality. I want to get back to what like I said in the last year. Well, my mom used to tell me that you go down 24th Street, it was vibrant. They had a lot of businesses, a lot of stuff going on. I've never seen that in my entire lifetime. I would love to see that. I think the opportunity is there. I've seen it happen even in Miami-Dade County, where you took areas that weren't economically, they were just distressed properties for the most part, and they infused it with capital, they infused it with money and opportunities and businesses, and now it's thriving. We need to do the same thing, but ownership is the key. Let's get the mindset around ownership. The more that we can own whatever it may be, and then be intentional about where that dollar is going, so that we can grow our community and everybody is enriched by that.
Absolutely. And so one thing I just want to say about keeping our money in our community. If you are a business owner, can I just say, be professional with your business. and I'm just keeping it 100 with some of our Black businesses. If you are a Black business, you're supposed to be open from 9 to 5. Be open from 9 to 5. Because what I'm finding is, we do this Black thing where we open from 9 to 5, but we really ain't open from 11 to 2. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time either you get there too early, you get there too late, you're out of food or you're out of product or whatever, and you're not even ready for the business, right? Because I'm ready to spend my dollar, and if it says a close sign, and I'm thinking, okay, it says 5 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, you just miss some money. So all I'm saying is, if you have a Black business, continue to stick to your hours of business. Be there, be available, because you never know what kind of money you're missing. I have some people have lost some of my business just because they're not open. Right. So let's just keep it 100 with the Black business.
You're not prepared.
Be open, be ready, and be ready to get that money, get that dollars. And so if I'm trying to give it to you, please don't be one of those people. I went down there and you weren't open. If you're going to be open till 5, please be open till 5. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. So that's just a little tidbit for some of the businesses I be trying to patronize, and they ain't open when you're supposed to be open. And so I'm just
what we're doing for Five Star BDM right here in the city of Omaha, we are building out a artificial intelligence AI business accelerator, and it's specifically for North Omaha and also in South Omaha. We're rolling this out. We want to make sure that we are AI enabled. To your point, in that if you have supply chain issues, let's see how we can solve that. We can speed some things up. We can get some more research. We can get some more information to you at a timely manner. Show you how to utilize these tools at scale so that you have the revenue and the business, and then the flexibility to grow and expand in your own community, right? So we can start looking at things like human capital. How can we impact that, right? When you start looking at capital itself, how do you do a capital raise? You need money, more money. Well, you've got to have the revenue to support the story about getting a capital raise from some of the funding sources that are out there. This has been very, very influential in the Miami-Dade County area. I'm bringing that same methodology to Omaha. This will enrich our community and take us to another level if we want to participate. So I encourage you to participate in the Business Accelerator, which you'll know more about that going into next year.
Yeah. Keep watching out for Five Star BDM. He's doing some big things with the city. He then came back to Omaha and said, look, let me show you what really is happening. And I'm glad to have hooked up with Grant again, because he's about the future and I'm about going to the next level. And so we're going to do that together.
Absolutely. That's about purpose, right? Which is our next day, NIA, right?
Which is NIA. So NIA should be, we're on December 30th. So NIA means purpose. So again, I encourage you, because I know my purpose, right? Pink Lotus is my purpose. I encourage you at any age to figure out what your purpose is, figure out why the Lord put you on this earth, and it just makes your life so much easier to navigate, because you know what the goal is, you know what the assignment is. So find your purpose, I would say, first of all. What do you think your purpose in life is?
My purpose is absolutely taking the experiences that I've had over the last 20, 30 years in corporate America, working in information technology, knowing how I've helped other Fortune 500 companies make millions of dollars, bring that to our community, small business owners, take these same methodologies and then utilize these things. These tools were not available to us 5, 10 years ago, just out of our range as far as being able to get the right data sets and the right information to make good decisions. And then your markets were not that big. Now the market is an international market. You ask me why I'm in St. Croix, because it's an international market. I can do business in the entire Caribbean world, as well as in the African continent and Southeast Asia and Europe. I can do that out of Miami. I can do it anywhere. I can do it out of Omaha as well. But if you don't know how to utilize these tool sets, it's a problem. My purpose in life is to show you these things, get you beyond some of the self-limiting concepts that you have from a mental state. Understand how you gain as an asset these skill sets, and then utilize these skill sets and the tool sets that are out there, and to grow and expand and play the game to win in 2026.
Hey, the game to win. We're winners. We're winners. Don't leave me hanging. We're winners.
Boom! Booyah! I love it. We are winners. That's right.
Oh, he's such a nut.
I'm a nut. Look, I'm not even going to say. The obvious is here. The obvious is right in front of your face. But I like because she's a fun person, so I like to have fun with her, and we're having a great time here on Christmas Day.
If anybody knows, I thrift, and so this was a present that I found thrifting. I just thought it was cute. I ain't even gonna say what it is. You have to be observant.
Okay,
December 31st, Kumba.
What creativity?
Kumba,
right?
Creativity, right?
You just talked about very creative. Very creative.
Very creative. And
Right.
you know what? I would again implore you to tap into your creative side. Some of us are extremely creative, but some of us just don't know how to tap into your creative side. It just kind of loosen you up, and just kind of, it's a different side of your brain, not that analytical piece,
Sure.
not that one that's just doing math. It's that one that's like, let's do this. It's where your ideals are grown. It's where you're thinking outside the box. And so do those things that release your creativity. Even if this, like I draw, I'm going to get back into so many things now that I'm retired. I retired in 2025. I have a shirt that said retired in 2025. And now that I'm retired, I'm getting back to all those things that are bringing me joy. And a lot of those things are creative things like drawing, dancing. I used to love to dance. Look, I've been a dancer from way back. I was just thinking, Karen Curry, shout out to Karen Curry, Clifford Moore, Kevin Curry. What was I called? Shoot, I just had our thing. We were called Something Special. And we used to do shows. Y'all remember show trains, show wagons? Show wagons.
Yeah,
yes, we used to do the show wagons at the Boys Club and all those things. A dancer from way back. I'm gonna get back into dance. If I don't do nothing but put boots on the ground, which I ain't even did since that whole phenomenon's been out here. I think I did once, but just get back into dancing. I want to get back and maybe share some stepping, some Chicago steps, something 60-ish and sexy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my dancing back home in 2026. That's all I'm saying.
No, I love it. You have to be creative. That keeps the life force flowing through you. You're going to be healthier if you do that. You'll be wealthier than you do that, and your relationships are going to blossom.
Yes.
I look at this as lifestyle is your artwork, right?
Nice.
And you got to look at your own artwork and see what is the story that you're telling about what you're doing. Creativity. Let me tell you this. We are in the creative economy as we go forward. Anything that can be done, I'd say almost math-wise, using logic and these types of methodologies can be outsourced to machines. The only thing they really can't is your creativity, your imagination, your experience, your wisdom, your context. How do you see things? Because not everybody sees the same thing the same way, but it leads to creativity.
That's right.
Leads to things outside of the box. This is important. I talk to people all the time. I've been, like I said, information technology for years, and I used to talk to nurses all the time. IT people want to talk to nurses because they live the everyday experience. You can come up with some kind of technology, but it doesn't mean it's going to be impactful, effective in that same workflow unless you talk to someone who's actually doing it.
Right.
So they can tell you what those friction points are, what's really happening, instead of come out with something like, well, this doesn't move the needle. This is really a waste of time. You don't want that. You want something that's really meaningful. But that creative side, I need everybody to be involved. I want to see these ideas that you have, especially we talked about the Omaha Inland Port Authority. That's just one of them. There's other programs out there that we want to see. How do you see things? And we like, oh, you know what? That was a great idea. Let's see how we can implement that.
Right. And be open to ideas and activities. Some of my board members and close friends of mine think I'm too controlling and don't think out the box sometimes. So I am giving them so much leeway this next year to be creative as they want to be, as long as it's about our mission and our growth. I'm for it. So stretch out your creativity, tap into your creativity, figure out those things, because your creativity should bring you joy, should make you happy. You should be excited. That's where people, when they see my passion, when I'm talking about stuff, that's because that's the energy that my passion brings me. But your creative side, you should be passionate about what you're doing. It should just really be something that you're excited about. So
tap into your creativity. You got to do that. And that leads us into faith.
That leads us into faith. Faith is the last one. And so we're lighting our candles. Go back to our candle picture. So by now we have lit all of our candles on the left and the right side. And we're kind of coming to the middle. And the last one is, we're out of sync. So we did Kumba 31st. Imani is faith.
Yes.
All right. I'm looking for my faith candle. Faith should be in the middle. Anyway, that's wrong. Faith should be your last one in the middle. That's the last candle that you light off of your Kanara. and that's your black candle in the middle. Faith, January 1st. So this is also the day, if you are practicing Kwanzaa, that you actually have a party, a celebration. Throughout these days, you can make homemade gifts, is very much encouraged as you practice, but actually it is days where you actually go out and practice those principles. Again, practice makes a change into habit, makes a change into new behaviors. So we want to incorporate all these things, not just the 7 days of Kwanzaa, but pull them onto this next first 7 days of the year. Just really start it over every 7 days and just keep practicing those principles until it's second nature. Till you're going to those community, you feel connected to your community, till you feel unified with something's going on with your family, till you maybe, corrected something that was broken in your family that wasn't unified, a sibling, a parent, a cousin, or whatever, some beef is out there. Let's just say, can I say this too? Life is too short for beefs.
Yeah.
Negative energy around another person is just a waste of energy. And I'm big about energy, because I can feel energy as soon as we walk into a room. If you feeling me or not, I'm in tune to energy. And so I just want to say negative energy is a waste. It's a waste of your time and mine. And life is just too short. You don't want any regrets like the last thing you had and somebody passed and you had a fight with them.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the last thing you want. And so you'd be like, damn, the last time I talked to her, excuse me, I cuss. My bad. The last time I talked to her or him, we was talking bad to each other. I told her she was a crazy bitch or whatever. And you can't take those words back.
No, you can't.
So
exactly.
I just say life is too short. Get rid of your beefs, throw it out the window, let go and let God, and just keep moving forward. So that's just my little thing
not especially when you lose somebody that you truly love, and then we know that this time of year can be tough for a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Because that's when you start thinking about, wow, those people make a big difference in my life. I used to think about, like, when my father passed, that sound that I had, that particular experience is now at its end, and it can leave that silence and that void that's there. And it takes some time to actually start to fulfill yourself again. You start looking at faith in yourself. You got to look for faith in other people. You got to look for faith in your works that you have, right? And faith that you can change things that were before maybe a very, a big block for you. But you've got to be more intentional about it. I think when you start utilizing an applied faith, that's what I liked about that applied faith, whether that means you're in the Christian community, you're in the Muslim community, or all the other faiths that are there. We have to be intentional about these things. I think that most of them are all based in love. But how are you loving yourself? How are you loving your family? How are you loving your community that you're in, and leading with that, instead of so easy to fall back into critical mindset, to being upset, and this is not right, that's easy to do. It takes a lot of energy and intentionality to be positive in situations in life.
Yeah, it does. And so when I say about faith, I will just say, have faith in yourself first, and faith in your ideas and in yourself. And then, maybe not so much faith in community leaders. I would just say make it a community project, so you're not putting all of your ducats and baskets in one person. Faith is one of those things that's supposed to be, blessings unseen and all that kind of stuff. But I would say guard your faith. Make sure that you're putting faith in the right things.
Yes.
I don't put my faith in just anybody and everybody. myself first. But I was brought up in a faith-based community, in a faith-based church, in a faith-based family. And so I try to activate my faith. I tell people when they get breast cancer, it's time to activate your faith. People talk about, I'm faithful and I have faith in this is going to work out or whatever. But God wants you to really activate your faith and really put your trust in Him. So and it takes sometimes cancer to bring people around. God puts you in situations where you can only call on Him. And so when you get cancer, it's like usually the doctors can't help you. They can help treat it. But when it comes to healing you from cancer, there's only one person you can look to. And so He puts you in those situations. That's why I had to get stage 3 inductive vasal carcinoma. I had to be taken to the bridge. The Lord said, I'm going to let you peek over, because I could let you not go through this and try to speak from it, but He had to take me through the valley too, right? Because I knew that I was going to get breast cancer, but I didn't know I was going to be stage 3. I didn't know I have to do chemo and radiation, lose my hair, but I have to go through the valley to be able to speak to these women who are going through it now. And so I had faith. that I wasn't going to die from breast cancer, right? And I had faith that this was my purpose and passion. I'm having faith that I am healing people now and that I'm helping people now.
Yes.
And I'm have faith that it's really making a difference in their lives. And hopefully I'm extending life. And that's my purpose, my passion. And that's why I follow my faith.
You can't even follow that up. That's exactly what it's about. And I want to go back to something you said. I want people to really hone in on this. That these are 7 principles. These are 7 days.
Principles.
But there are 52 of them throughout the year.
Yes.
And we recycle these types of principles and live them, not just talk about it. You have to apply the principles. If you apply the principles, you get the fruit of your harvest.
Yes.
And I believe Kwanzaa, that's kind of what it means if you look
Absolutely.
it up.
And if you look up even the whole setup of a Kwanzaa Kanara and the table set, it's all about the fruits of your labor, right? It's about the harvest. So when you set up your table, and I wish I had a picture of my table, but it's similar to this picture. You want to make sure there's some fruits and some vegetables on there to represent the harvest. You want to have some gifts to represent the gifts and the life that we do get from our harvest, those gifts, and to be able to pass those gifts on to our community. You want to have some African artifacts. You want to just have some things that brings your culture back to you. I have Michael Woods. Shout out to my homeboy, Michael Woods.
Yeah.
I have Michael Woods he did that 365 days of blackness. Basically, we're going to revive Michael's book. But if you flip through the book, he tells you about how great we are as Black people and all of our accomplishments as Black people and all these inventors. And, we're a powerful people. We have done so much that I don't even know if everybody realizes, but he put it in a binder. He's going to do a hard copy, but make sure you pick it up. But it's just as we go into Black History Month in February, we're going to be talking more about that, but just the greatness of our culture. But just that's what it's all about: faith, family, and community. I love all the principles. So yeah, if you can bring them to life and practice them, it'll be better for everybody.
Well, I thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year. You got to tune in our next show.
Happy
I'm going
New
to
Year.
be live filming from St. Croix.
I might be with, who knows?
We're going to find
Merry
out.
Christmas, though.
Imagine waking up with more energy, a peaceful mind, and relationships that grow stronger every day. That is the vision Tisa Harden and Grant McGaw want to help you achieve, and it all starts with simple, practical steps you can take this week. On health, wealth, and relationships, every episode brings you real stories and trusted experts. Tisa and Grant focus on 3 tactical steps each week. Small, doable moves that protect your health, grow your savings, and bring you closer to the people you love. No complicated rules, just real progress. Try a clinic-to-kitchen swap to boost your energy. Start a money buffer habit that quietly builds your financial confidence. Or try a 1-minute exercise that helps you reconnect with your partner. These quick wins are not chores. They are steps toward a better life. People who try just one intentional step report more energy, less money stress, and evenings full of laughter again. Join Tisa and Grant. Start small, live bigger. Tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and subscribe now.